What's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
Oh shit, I was muted. No surprise there. Yeah.
I was like,
What's up,
what?
dude?
What the hell? How
Sorry
you
about
been, man?
that. Happy Monday.
Yeah, yeah, right. Happy Monday. We were just talking about. I got confused. I guess there was another pew pewing up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I heard about it a couple hours ago. It sounds like it was a 17-year-old girl. I don't know many other
Yeah,
details besides that.
bless them, man. That is just so sad, bro. Don't
Yeah.
even make no sense anymore. All that. Um, all right, let's give it a couple of seconds, and then we'll get into what I wanted to talk to you about. And
Sure.
um,
How's the mic?
you by any chance?
Is it super loud?
No, actually, you're pretty good.
All right, good. It's just so loud in my headphones that I wasn't sure if it was coming out loud too.
Very good. Did you by any chance have time to look that up?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I've got the I don't know if it's the order up. Where is it? It's somewhere. It's on a tab somewhere. I'll find it. You put me in the big box? I
Might
got
as
a
well, dude. Listen, I'm too
I
ugly
got
for
a
this
I
shit.
got a big box it.
Well, why is it? How do I even remove that then? There we go. All right, since
Great.
you're the guest, man, you're gonna have it, bro. You're gonna
Well, there
have
we
it.
go. I'm used to it.
Yeah. Um. All right, so let's get into it.
All right.
All right, so what is your thought on that whole thing? I know you and I talked about it briefly. Um, I got to find out that that was actually a prisoner exchange.
Hmm.
Um, So, have you dug up into it, and what's your take on it?
Yeah, so for I don't know if our like the people that are here with me know this story. It was mostly covered by right-wing media, but there's a guy named I don't remember what his name was. Lee, right? Last name was Lee. Uh
It's Shanlin Lee, something. Shanlin.
yeah. 70 years old, had been in prison, sentenced to 10 years in 2018 on espionage. Oh wait, no, that's the other guy. Sorry, I have the wrong one up. Anyway, basically, there was a prisoner exchange between China and the United States, and the prisoner that the United States is sending back has charges for child images. We'll say that.
Yeah, one including a an infant.
Yeah, I don't know the details of his charges exactly. Do you know him?
Yeah, yeah. So he was charged with. They had over 40,000 images, including an infant. So he was sentenced to 96 months in federal prison. And then all of a sudden, now there's a clemency involving a prisoner exchange with the Chinese, which leads to kind of tells me that they already knew that he was. I don't want to say that word, but I think you know where I'm going with this. The SPY.
Yeah, maybe could be.
So it's like if they already knew that he was a national and all of this. Why would they just go through this? Something's not adding up, and we're
I
only
don't know what's
given
not
just.
adding. What's not? What do you mean it's not adding up? I don't know what you mean.
Why would they let somebody like that go? Especially with a federal charge and federal sentence. He pleaded guilty. He wasn't found guilty. He
Uh,
pleaded guilty.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think anybody wanted to let that guy out of jail, but when you're getting three prisoners in exchange, I think you do it. I think I would have done it. Would you have chosen not to have the three prisoners back?
But when you say three prisoners, who are these prisoners?
What is it?
Yeah,
Mark
I don't,
Sweden, Kai Lee, and John Lung.
are they somehow he's supposed to be? Are they supposed to be? Who are they? Do you know anything about them?
Kai Lee's from Long Island, detained in 2016 for that's what I was saying was for espionage. Mark Sweden was a businessman from Texas. He'd been detained since 2012 and was sentenced to death with a reprieve in 2019 after being convicted on drug-related charges. And I don't know, John. Let's see, does I have John Long's charges here? I don't have I don't have anything on John Long, but yeah, I mean it's a 3-for-1 trade. It makes sense to me.
Yeah, but I mean,
As much as I want to see somebody like that have severe punishment for what they did, I still think that getting 3 prisoners back was probably a good thing.
I mean, I will have to disagree because I can understand, we've talked about the whole Hunter thing. I can understand that. I can even understand some of the other ones and all of that. But to give clemency to somebody who pleaded guilty to all of that, I just cannot. I can't support it at all. I
Well,
can't support it.
yeah, it doesn't remove their charges, and they're never allowed back in the United States. Like they're barred from ever entering the United States again.
Yeah, but then are the people who were the pictures and all of that, are they ever going to get justice?
No, probably not. But I would say that returning 3 human beings back to America is something that I would value more than the families getting justice.
I'm going to have to disagree on this one.
I mean, what would you say to the families if the family, like you had this trade in front of you, and the families of Mark Swidden, Kylie, and John Lung were like, "Hey, why aren't you doing this exchange?" And they're like, "Well, because he had charges involving children, and we want to keep this person in jail." How would you explain that to the families? They're like, "Wait, hold on, you just want to keep him in jail rather than get our family members back?"
Well, I mean, I see where you're going with this, and to me, something like that is unforgivable in my book. There's no forgiveness there. Something like that, I would, I would have to,
Yeah, but I don't
tell
think
the
this is
families, hey,
forgiveness. I
listen,
don't think it's forgiveness. He can never re-enter the country. He's going to China, who's more strict about this type of stuff than we are. In fact, I mean, I don't know the rules in China. I don't. They may be able to prosecute him. I have no idea. But they're pretty. They crack down on this stuff pretty hard in China.
even though the crimes were committed here.
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know what China will do or what they can do. I have no idea. I'm not an expert in Chinese law, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just when it comes to that, the adolescence crimes and all that, I just to me it's a zero tolerance. Uh, you know what I mean? I think we can all share the same view, but I understand the diplomacy of it. I can see the diplomacy of it.
I think it's a story because people are desperate to link Joe Biden to abusing children, which has been one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in politics. Is the smears on Joe Biden with children, despite there being no evidence, and the absolute refusal of those same people to address the evidence against other people running. I think that's why it's a story.
You really think so?
Yeah, I
What
do.
would that connect him to? Did they have any connections?
Who?
Um, Joe Biden and anything that's going on?
with with this guy?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand your question.
No, but so you mentioned, people are trying to focus on Joe Biden being this child and all of that.
Yeah.
In my opinion, is he's just a old grandpa who sometimes, does grandpa stuff. I don't see him as one of those, like the people are perceiving him to it.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah, I
No,
know. Like,
I really
there's
don't
other groups
because
that are convinced that he has abused children. So I'm glad to hear you're not in
yeah,
that group.
I mean, unless there's actual proof, we can talk about the whole diary, but I think that's a moot point. It isn't going to go nowhere. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I just think that's
I,
probably why. I think that's probably why this has been reported without nuance. I haven't seen, like, New York Post was the first one to report it, and it was basically just like Joe Biden doesn't care about children, he's releasing this person. And then it was like you get down in the article where most people don't read, and then it's like, oh, okay, this makes sense. It was a prisoner exchange. I'm just looking at the way it was pushed out on most, and it was a blind spot for the left. So kudos to the people on the right for reporting it. But the way that it was pushed out, a lot of those headlines were basically saying Joe Biden doesn't care about children. And then when you get into it, it's like, oh, yeah, this sucks, but it makes sense.
Mhm. I see. I guess I see your point. All of that. I see your point.
I think Joe Biden will go down as like weirdly like just I think people will forget Joe Biden, for all the stuff he was accused of as president, and for all all the times they threatened to impeach him. This guy has come away pretty squeaky clean.
Yeah, I mean, earlier I got into it with another. I guess we had a small debate, and we were talking about Joe Biden and Trump, and I asked him a question. I said, "Listen, Trump has been elected on January 20th. Will he be your president?" He kind of sat there for a good 45 seconds. He said, "No." I said, "Why?"
Bad
You
news,
know,
he is.
yeah. I said, "Why?" I said, "Are you not an American?" And he goes, "Well, yeah, I am an American, but I did not support him. I did not vote for him." So I said, "So you voted for the party and not for the president?" I said, "You do realize if Trump fails, we all fail, not just the left and the right. We all fail, period. There's
Yeah.
no, you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. So how do we figure
If
out?"
Trump, I think if Trump fails, depending on what we're talking about, if he fails to deliver what he said he was going to do, I think in some ways we might win. We might benefit from that. But if you're saying like if it's a failure, like if the economy turns to shit, all that, yeah, then yeah, we all lose. I think it's a silly thing that we talk about. Like they're not my president. Like of course they are. That's how this works. That's how elections
Yeah,
work. They're not only your president when you vote for them.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, listen, so you don't support America? You just it's one of those things. And I know you and I have talked about this before. It's the messaging, right? And I've been trying to figure out how to how to give out the message the right way. Um, I think
Well, honestly, I think
since
it
the
just comes.
election,
Like, sorry about that. What'd you say?
no, you could. Since the election, I think that crap has gotten worse.
Like the dialogue.
Yeah, the dialogue, the hatred for one another, it's gone full force.
Well, yeah, it's been interesting. Like, I think a lot of people don't know what to do right now. Trump's making moves with his cabinet, but none of those things are in place yet. The folks, at least on this app, that like to debate, like, what are they going to debate? Like, it's all still like rehashing pre-election stuff, which I think is weird. And so like the stuff that we already disagreed on, people are kind of doubling down on that. I think we'll have an opportunity to say like to call balls and strikes once he's in office, and that's when it's going to get interesting. But the hardest part for me, honestly, is that there are people that exist that no matter what their candidate does, no matter what their party does, they're going to defend it. And I'm afraid that a lot of those people right now are in power. I think you look at people like Charlie Kirk, if you look at every right wing, like they are begging Donald Trump to do whatever he wants and demanding loyalty from everybody else. I think, at least from our side of the aisle, that's what's scary. Like the threats, the demands for loyalty, some of these cabinet picks are sketchy. For us that have been saying like we were nervous that this is fascism, there are people on that side of the aisle that are acting like fascists. So it'll be interesting to see what Trump does. Like, will Trump stand up to them, or is he going to say like, this is what I want to?
But I mean, even the people that I talk to on a daily basis, yes, we voted for Trump. We will support him, you know, but we'll be the first ones to call him out. I mean, he's got the House, the Senate, Supreme Court. If he doesn't deliver, we'll be the first ones to call him out. And I think that's what the people are not understanding is that, yes, we voted for him, but we will also hold him accountable.
Yeah, that's good. I hope so. Because it means more. But at least, even from my position, like I could cover anything Trump does, and it's not going to have the impact that if conservatives were to stand up against him, right? That has an impact. If he were to do something you guys didn't like, and there was enough noise, that has far more impact than I ever could. His conservatives aren't going to listen to me, but if they feel pressure from their own electorate to do the right thing, and I think that's where we need to get back. It was a contentious election. It's been a weird 8 years, just really, really weird. But if we could get back to where we look at all politicians as people who are supposed to do a job for us, and we are openly critical of people specifically on our own parties, like I think that's where you get most of. I think that's where you can find common ground, and I think Americans are desperate for that. I don't think people want to keep fighting this hard with each other. It's exhausting. Honestly, it's like that election was exhausting.
it wasn't exhausting, but that's why I said it. Things have gotten way worse.
That's
And
not good.
there's some people like you and I, we can communicate. There's a couple other like political mom.
She's
We can
great.
talk. Yeah, she's awesome. We'll go on Discord and we'll have a chat and all that. There's a mutual of yours. I don't know if you know her. Her name is Swish, something like that.
The what?
Swish,
Swish. Yeah, yeah,
Swish.
yeah.
Yeah,
Of
you know what
course.
I mean. I've been on her panel a couple of times and very respectful. You know what I mean. So it's one of those. It's like, how do you get people to actually talk like you and I are, and like Swish and I have? And just because I voted for somebody different, that doesn't mean that you and I cannot have a conversation. So it's the messaging that it seems like on both ends.
Yeah.
If I voted for Trump, I'm an immediate this, and all of that. So it's
Yeah, I
like, how
think
do you figure out the messaging? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that somewhere along the line, like we've lost our way as citizens, and I think it's because of the two-party system, and it naturally pits us against each other. But like our job as citizens is to be informed and to hold our leaders accountable, and always be pushing them to do the best thing. And somewhere along the line, we started being cheerleaders. We started being like fans of our politicians. And when you enter that zone, like, I mean, I don't know, do you're in Denver? You a Broncos fan?
Yes,
Yeah, like every
especially after
fuck,
last
yeah.
night. Yeah,
Yeah, every play, whoever you're playing against, the other team commits a penalty. That's how we are with sports. Like we're so biased when it comes to sports. So when we treat politics the same way, that's where I think that's how we've gotten to the point where we have this crazy debt. We have healthcare that nobody's doing anything about. People can't afford to buy houses. People can't afford groceries. We all sit here and argue which side is better, and we don't really get anything done because nobody's willing to hold their own side accountable. And until we do, like nothing will ever change. People blame the government and say it's like a uniparty or the deep state. The truth is it's us. Like most of us are pussies. We don't want to go against the grain on our own side.
I agree. When it comes to that universal health care, there was another, I can't remember who the person was, but Democrats want universal health care for all.
Hmm.
Republicans are like, no, hell no.
Yeah.
Is there a way to figure out where we can get the universal health care for children first? Let's start
Yeah.
off with that and let's build it up. Let's do
Well,
children first. And after that, let's figure out for elderly
yeah. So
and
if you
then
look,
figure out.
Yeah, so if you look at Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All, that's the one I support. It's basically taking Medicare now and then expanding it so we all pay into it, which makes it far more effective because you have healthy people paying into it, and it's not just people using it that are sick. It won't be underfunded. But even Bernie Sanders' plan, it rolls out in phases. So basically, you take those on Medicare and you change the age to like 45. That's step one. Then you go and then step two is you're helping people that fall below the poverty line. And eventually, as you fund it, and there's a timeline on his website if you look it up. But eventually, everybody gets it. But yeah, you would have at the very least you would have the elderly and the poor getting coverage really quickly, and that would change things overnight. Like that would
Yeah,
pull millions of people out of poverty overnight.
yeah,
Overnight, they can go see a doctor. Overnight, they're no longer in poverty, which is crazy.
yeah. And that's one of the things that I really liked about the Minnesota governor. What's his name?
Walls.
What's the Walz?
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading an officer, real talk down in the comments. We were reading all his accomplishments, and the way what he was able to do in Minnesota was amazing. I mean, free lunches for kids in schools. He had a surplus in Minnesota. Amazing.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so if that guy can do it in Minnesota, why can't we do it in other states? You see what
Well,
I'm
there's
saying?
other states that, yeah, there's other states that do it. It's easier on a state level because you have to have a balanced budget or at least be close. So a lot of states have surpluses where the federal government doesn't. But you're right. Like if you had Medicare for all, that funding would go on a state level, and then there are states that are ready to take this money now, and they have enough of an understanding of how to run social programs that in a lot of states overnight this could be really really good. It would take other states a little more time. They'd have to build the infrastructure, but it's a broken system. And I think the death of this CEO has been weirdly like the most uniting time of my life, like post 9/11. Like if you remember 9/11, it was awful.
Oh yeah.
But then we
No,
all, like everybody came together. Like Bush's approval rating was in the 90s. And that was the last time I really felt like we were all together. And this feels that way. Maybe not on the fringes of the political aisle, but like mainstream media, non-political media, my friends at the golf course, everybody kind of just agrees, yeah, this is a mess. We've got to fix this.
yeah, I agree. I agree that this has, and I think this just opened up a lot of doors. Um,
Hmm.
I think people are going to finally start to say, you know what, enough is enough. I'm hoping that they don't just go out and pew pew people, but there's got to be a
Yeah.
way. You know what I mean? There's got to be a way, and I'm hoping that after that stuff happened, that these CEOs and all of that will kind of take this stuff seriously, because people on both ends are fed up. Uh,
Yeah.
no matter who you are, they're fed up.
Yeah. One thing, like in America, it's crazy. Like we're kind of like the standard bearer for what we would call capitalism, and it's become crony capitalism, where like embarrassingly our medical system is like in the 40s. Like we're nowhere even near the top, and we have all the resources in the world. So, or excuse me, I guess it's in the late bottom teens. It's education. We're in the 40s. Uh, uh, Maternal. I've just been looking at stuff from like maternal death rates, and like the amount of women dying during pregnancy and in the year post pregnancy compared to everywhere where else around the world it's astronomical. We lead in the most people in prison. Like we don't lead in anything cool except for like defense spending. That's about it. Everything else we're no longer a world leader in.
Yeah, which is embarrassing. Which is
Yeah.
embarrassing. Hey, Swish, how you doing, man?
What's up, Swish?
Hey, hey, good. How are you? That was a nice little shout out, Admir. Very unexpected. I appreciate that. We are almost home. We are 23 minutes from home in South Carolina. Drove from Connecticut, so we are tired.
Well, glad you made it home. Glad you made it home.
Yeah, we got about 23 more minutes. The sound is probably shit, so I'll jump down. But I just wanted to say hello since you invited me up. People in the comments are, Admir, if they're not on your side, right? If they're the left coming in, they your tone, you sound a little disingenuous sometimes. And what I say is that you're pretty respectful um, most of the time that we've had conversations. And when you're up on Jay's panel, I don't know what goes on in your lives because this is the first one I've been in. But I hope I don't ever walk into one of your lives where you are being complete opposite to how you speak when you're on Jay's live or with, political mom or with me, because I'd be really disappointed. If this is how you sound all the time, regardless of who you're talking to, then I'm going to keep talking to you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and I appreciate that. And I've said this before. I only match the energy. Um, Jay and I have been talking for a long time on his live and all of that. I don't think we've ever cursed. I don't think I've ever cursed on his live.
I bet I have.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you
I'm
have.
certain that I've cursed already here tonight. I'm certain of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So it's the energy that I receive. So if you're willing to talk to me, cool, no problem. I'm willing to talk to you, and I'll respect you, and I'll do whatever I got to do. But if you come off at me and yell at me because I voted for Trump and put me down, well then it's game on. You know what I mean? It's game on.
And I mean that's fair. I think a lot of us could say the same, right? That we match energy. So, and I know that I definitely cuss. So, that's how it is. But I'm gonna hop down. I just wanted to thank you for the little shouty shout. I appreciated it, and I'll see you for my daily news tomorrow, sir.
See
Yes,
you in the
ma'am.
morning.
You
Drive
stay
safe.
safe.
Thanks. Have a
Um, but and I wanted to ask you something about that. I know you and I last time we talked, we were talking about immigration. Then of course, law came in and did what law does. Yeah, he came in. I was like, oh man, you have to bring him up.
Yeah, he's a useful tool. He's the best.
He is. He is really knowledgeable. I can appreciate him. I've spoken to him many times, and he's very knowledgeable. Um, So my take is on it. Have you seen the Tom Homeland proposal of how and what he's going to do?
I've seen him. I don't know if I've seen. I don't think I've seen an outline of. I've just seen a bunch of interviews of him talking about it. Does he have an outline?
Yeah. So what he's trying to do is basically come after the ones that have been already ordered to be deported based on their denial of the asylum
Hmm.
that haven't been in. And so that's the ones that he wants to go first.
People that have been through like their asylum claims.
Yes, and
Okay.
that have been denied,
Yeah, I'm
but
fine
are
with that.
still out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But people are still saying no. Why would you deport it? It's gonna get our economy. It's gonna crash the economy. It's gonna do all of this. And I'm just like, well, wait a second. The judge ordered them.
Yeah, if you're talking about asylum seekers, no, that wouldn't crash the economy. In fact, that would be a relief to the economy because a lot of asylum seekers either can't get authorization to work, or even if they can, it's hard to find work. So I don't have an issue with that. My issue with all of it is that a lot I think it's kind of the same as the topic we had of like the prisoner exchange. A lot of
Yeah,
times we want to stand on our principles so much that we do something dumb. And so the people that say for the people that say if you come here illegally you should be deported, period.
yeah.
I get that logic, but it's going to hurt a lot of people, including you and I. And so if it hurts us, why not move towards a path to amnesty? And that's the one thing that's really interesting about the Republicans post Trump is that Republicans historically have been cool with amnesty. Reagan was cool with amnesty. Both Bushes were. Mitt Romney was less cool with it, but like open to amnesty. This is the first time that Republicans have been like this openly hostile towards amnesty, and it comes at a time when we've got like 10 million jobs sitting unfilled. We don't need more jobs. Jobs aren't being taken. We need more people to work. So it's such a weird time to stand on principle and be like, we're going to deport people.
Well, that's true, but I mean, I don't know if you ever heard Trump. He was asked the question: "Is okay? What about the 1 point? I think it's 6 million DACA recipients. And he said, listen, we have to figure out a way to get them to path to citizenship. And then another question was posed is, okay, what about the people who are on a standstill, who have come here, who have filed for their asylum, but it's that long period of wait time? Are you going to come after them? And he was like, listen, we need to figure out a way how to either give them a path to citizenship or just send them back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
So
that's
it's
the
one of
thing with
those.
him that's what's frustrating with Trump. He's always like he'll hear you, and what he said he's like, we'll have to find a way. Like that's what you got elected for, bud. You're supposed to have that answer already. He should have an answer to that.
Yeah, but how do you have an answer? A law has to change. You would have to revamp the whole immigration system.
Right, but
And
shouldn't he
how do
have a
you do?
plan? Shouldn't he have a plan for that?
Well, he should, but I mean, realistically, let's be real. No president has ever had a plan like that. Nobody ever will. I mean,
Immigration plans? Every
yeah,
literally every literally every president that's come into office has. Trump is the first president of at least my lifetime to win 2 times with virtually no agenda, like no plan, no agenda. Like we're 9 years in, and he still says, like, "Don't worry, my healthcare plan is coming." I mean, this
yeah,
is a guy that's
that,
been, he was elected because of his rhetoric and because people liked him. Nobody, people can say they like him for his policies, but he's not really a policy guy.
yeah. As far as that healthcare stuff goes, man, I have to stay away from that because that has me on, a little bit kind of like scratching my head, like, okay, well, either you have one or you don't. Why can't you just come out and say you don't have a plan? We'll figure it out. End
Well,
of
he
the
has
story.
concepts of a plan. That's what he just has concepts of one. I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what that means, the concept of a plan, but you know, I'm hoping that
You
he's
know when it
able to
stopped?
keep pace.
It stopped in the 2016 primary when he was debating this and Marco Rubio was making fun of him. And it was like Marco Rubio's night. That was the one night Marco Rubio like had a good night. And then the next debate, he got absolutely destroyed. But he was making fun of Trump for Trump not having a plan, because Trump just kept talking about the lines around the states. And Marco kept like doing it. He was mocking him. He's like, the lines around the states. And ever since then, like, Trump doesn't talk about healthcare anymore. He doesn't talk specifically about it at all. And I just think that's because Republicans know. I think Republicans know that they don't want universal healthcare. And if they don't take government control, they really can't control healthcare. There's not really much that the government can do, which is why I don't think they ever release a plan, because they know they can't go to their constituents and be like, you know what, we have to do single payer. And there's nothing else really that you can do.
But what I don't understand, and like I said, I don't really try to get into this whole healthcare because it's so confusing. It's why hasn't there been? I guess where I'm going with this is, is it possible to do universal healthcare for all?
Yeah, literally every country does it but us. Every single one.
Yeah,
we're the only ones that don't do it.
Yeah, but every single country is a side of a. I mean, if you're gonna go look at no,
China's got more people than we do.
Yeah, but they don't have a universal healthcare, do they?
Yes, they do. Yeah, they do.
China has universal. Wow. Okay.
Literally, we're the only country that has privatized healthcare as like our go-to. I mean, only of the rich countries. I'm sure there's like small, poor countries that don't or have nothing, but we are the only rich country without universal healthcare, and we pay double what everybody else pays for worse care.
Yeah,
it's really this simple. Like, honest to God, it's really this simple. Healthcare companies make a lot of money. We know the CEOs make a lot of money. We know they return money to their investors through dividends. We know that salespeople make a lot of money. Their infrastructure makes money. They have private jets. They have big buildings. They have corporate retreats. All of these things cost billions of dollars a year. Billions. And in every other country, those billions of dollars that are going to CEOs and infrastructure and salespeople and jets, in every other country, that money is going towards healthcare. So we're essentially, like, when you think about it, it's like I saw somebody on, I think it was on Twitter, they're like, I'm going to start a pizza company. And the way my pizza company is going to work is you're going to pay me $50 a month for pizza. And if you want to buy pizza, you can call me and I'll let you know where you can order pizza from and if you can get pizza. And then you still have to pay for half the pizza. Nobody would go for that deal. But that's healthcare. Their job is simply to pay our bill, and they spend 20% of the money that they take in on our healthcare. It's a complete and total scam that everybody in the world has figured out, and the only reason we don't is because of lobbyists. Because healthcare lobbyists give a lot of money. They're in bed with Big Pharma. Big Pharma gives a lot of money, and since really the turn of the last century, Americans have been told socialism is bad, and so anything that exists in a socialist country or anything that exists as a government program, we've been conditioned to think is just bad. And sometimes social programs are bad. A lot of times government spending is bad, but it's literally the way that it's like universal healthcare is you, me, and every other American pooling our money together, negotiating as one body, which means we can go to every big pharmaceutical company and we can say, you don't get to charge us 12x what you charge the UK anymore. You have to charge us what they charge or what you're charging the UK. And if they say no, we say, okay, bye. And they have nowhere else to go. It's like the only leverage we have as American people to fight back against this is the government. But we have to understand that, like, the government is supposed to play that role. That's the preamble of the Constitution. Provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and ensure the blessings of liberty. This is promoting the general welfare. This falls within the Constitution. This is the role of government. This is one of those things they're supposed to do.
Yeah, and I can't argue with that. I agree with you 100%. We should have universal health care. I'm amazed that we're the only ones that don't have it. I pay roughly $3,300 a month for Kaiser for my wife and two children.
How much?
$3,300.
You pay $3,300 a month.
Yeah, because I'm a small business owner, so I went directly through them. And because my youngest one is 16, the oldest one is 20, and then my wife. Yeah, $3,300 a month. Now that covers our dental, vision, everything, pretty much 100%.
What tax bracket are you under? Like $500,000,
Uh,
right
somewhere
around
around
there.
there.
All right.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, even around there, like it would cut you down to probably $1,000 to $1,500 a month for in taxes. That's what you would pay every year in taxes, and you would have no deductible, no copay.
I would love that. Shit, sign me up right now.
Yeah,
Sign me up, bro.
we just have to get everybody on board. Like, these are the conversations that need to happen, because we are being absolutely sold out by government. No question about it. We're being sold out, and we're the ones that have to change it. We can't wait for our government to change it. And honestly, if we're being totally honest, there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing we can do about it on our side of the aisle until you guys get on board, until you start pressuring Republicans. This will never happen.
Yeah,
This, and I think that's important to branch across. Like, maybe we can find something that we'll trade for. I don't what Republicans want. Like, maybe we'll trade for it. But we got to have Republicans on board for this, or it doesn't happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, I'm on board, and that's why I told you before last time you and I talked. It's the messaging. It's how you come across and how do you deliver a message. You know what I mean? Like, you and I can
Yeah.
have this conversation, but if people are not willing to listen, it doesn't matter what side you're on. We can agree. Hell, I pay so much money in a month. I don't want to be paying that. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things.
That's
Okay, so
crazy how much you pay.
how do you? Yeah, yeah. I started
Well,
for the
let's make a
last.
deal. We'll trade you guys. You guys do universal health care, and we'll give you Tulsi Gabbard and RFK. How about that? So, we already did our part. That's perfect.
But we already got that. So
Damn. Who do you want?
I mean,
we'll give you
hey,
somebody.
listen,
You want Joe Manchin? We'll give you Joe Manchin.
no, man, and listen, bro. Calm down there, killer. Calm down. Calm down. No, but I mean, these are the talks that we need to have. It's like, okay, so what do you do from now on? And it's just mind-boggling that after the election, it seems like everything's gone tenfold, and nobody's willing to have these conversations on a cordial level, on a human level. You see what I'm saying?
I think if we all looked back and we were all honest with ourselves about the last 8 years, we spent most of our time talking about shit that didn't matter. And I can just say from my end, like, I spent way too much time talking about Donald Trump's trials, especially with hindsight being 2020. Like, oh, it really didn't matter what I said or did. Like, this was going to play out how it played out. And because we did that, and because we've done this for 8 years, we had a Congress who didn't do anything. And the American people are the ones who suffered for that. And yet we still lined up every day to go to battle about, like, is Donald Trump guilty or not? And I'm not saying that, like, that's not a debate to be had. I'm not saying that it's not important, but the amount of time we spent on it compared to things we could have actually talked about and got done is, to me, for just personally on my level, a little embarrassing.
Yeah. Hey, Fuzzy.
This motherfucker.
I mean,
hey, that's a sweet selfie behind you, Fuzzy. That's cool.
Yeah,
Fuck you. Hey, we have the same. Hold on, we have the same wall paint.
You and I?
Almost.
Yeah, look at our wall paint.
Those are doors. It's just the light, though. It's the light from my computer.
Whatever.
They're actually white.
Right.
They're actually white. I have the blue light blocker on my computer.
So, Admir, yeah, it's been a while since we've talked.
Yes, sir. It's been a while.
I know for well that I've never been on your live. So I was on a live earlier tonight, and so I'm rewinding to immigration. That's what I requested, and she had an image of a guy. I don't know the names. I don't know the entire story. Okay, but apparently he was drinking and driving, accident, unalived a 7-year-old girl. So I was having that conversation. It's like, all right, well, let's talk about today. don't want to talk about that. Does not want to talk about the mass pew-pews in I'm not even sure where it was, but
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Thank you. Yeah, didn't want to talk about it. Why? Why do you want to talk about one incident of an undocumented drunk driver and not the unaliving of people in Madison, Wisconsin? Why does the right want to do that?
And I've talked about this before. I tend to think a little bit different is because I don't pick and choose the certain events. I use it as a whole. Um, so to me, when you just say, hey, let's talk about a certain case, that really doesn't fit my narrative. Because you'll never hear me talk about, oh, well, what about that DUI guy that just unalived a family. To me, it doesn't fit my narrative, and I don't talk about that. I like to talk about it as a whole. It's like, and I've said this a million times before. Neither side wants to fix immigration because it will take out of their pockets. It seems like
I agree.
immigration comes off every 4 years. Agree?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things.
I think the option was on the table to make at least a performance when with Lankford's bill. I think there was at least a performance opportunity, which obviously we know what happened to that. But yeah, no, I agree. It's just performance. Neither it's profitable for the entire country to not fix it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's one of those things. Like, well, if you are sitting here and talking to American people that we have an issue at immigration, everything's an issue in immigration. Well, why not fix it?
Right.
And and that's why I'm kind of like, okay.
Okay, so and there's I'm not going to name her name and whose live it was I was in, but if it's like all about the children, this 17-year-old girl was unalived by an undocumented immigration person, and all this stuff. Why aren't we talking about the 5 today? Why aren't we talking about how to fix 5? We were talking about one child, and granted, it's horrible. Don't get me wrong. It's a DUI situation, which isn't exclusive to people that are immigrating here, to undocumented. It's not exclusive. And when I try to bring up today's events, no one wanted to talk about it.
It's because people are lining up on sides. Like the real answer to immigration is Congress needs to get off their fucking ass. That's sorry, Admir. I don't know if we swear here.
No.
Congress needs to get off their ass, and they don't do anything. And they don't do anything, frankly, because there's a bunch of corporations that pay them, specifically in agriculture, that benefit tremendously from illegal labor. And so they go out and they soapbox on things like crime, and they soapbox on things that will get people riled up so that you and I and everybody else forgets that there's an actual solution, and it's actually not that hard to fix. And we could do it if Congress would get off their ass. And so what happens on days like today is something like this happens. And for our side on the left, we're like, hey, I'm going to go throw this in the right's face because they threw this last thing in my face. And then when it gets thrown in their face, they're going to come up with an excuse as to why you did something worse. And we're going to play, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. And I think there's a time and a place for that. Like, I don't hate all of that, but we do it on these important issues where nothing we say is correct. Like, we're all wrong. The true answer is if we want to fix immigration, we have to fix our asylum laws. If we want to fix our asylum laws, Congress needs to get off their ass and do something about it. And the only reason they haven't is because we don't give them a mandate to do it, because we sit around and talk about things like Lake and Riley and use that as a story and try and get each other caught in like a gotcha question. And that's just how our government works. And we should all, if anything, Trump has done one thing beautifully. He has exposed the duopoly. Now, I don't think he did it on purpose, and maybe people on the right think he did, but we have seen that for 9 years, we've talked about a bunch of shit that didn't matter and nothing got done. And most Americans aren't aware of that. Most Americans still think that these battles that we're talking about are going to be fixed by building a wall or mass amnesty. And the truth is, like, Congress just needs to do their job, and they don't do it.
No, I agree. But it's going to take everybody. And I was reading that the Langford bill, and that kind of threw me off as to why they shut it down.
Come on a little closer to your mic.
Say what?
Amir. Yeah, it's a little hard to hear you. Yeah.
Just that that thing on the back of your ear, just put it. That's the volume on the back of your ear, Fuzzy. Just turn that thing up. Sorry.
Can you hear me better?
Sorry. I feel
bad now I can hear you.
I feel a little bad about that one. Sorry, Fuzzy.
That was low. That was low.
Sorry.
Dude, one day me and you are going to play golf, and you know what I'm going to do to you?
What?
Lose horribly.
Yeah.
There we go.
No, and
I might actually move to Arizona, but we'll see.
I recommend
Anyways.
it.
Why Arizona? Why would you go to Arizona?
We would be here an hour and a half. I had to tell you all these stories, but go ahead.
It was 78 degrees today. That's why.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah. Well, actually, it hit 40 today here. So.
Yeah, it was like it's basically in this, like, from now until mid-April, it's basically like 70s and 80s, and then there's like a stretch. There'll be like a 2-week stretch where the high will be like in the 50s. But the sun shines every day.
God.
I lived in San Diego for a while. That was the best. You're not going to beat that. I'll tell you what.
But it is 190 degrees in the summer. That's a good point. It's so hot in the summer. It's like 120 degrees, and then in August there's humidity. It's terrible.
I don't.
Dry.
When I was driving, I would pick up spas down out of Chandler, Arizona.
You'd pick up what?
Summer spas.
Spas.
Jacuzzi. Okay. Yeah, and I mean it would be 110 outside, and just imagine putting a full tarp.
Wait, you laugh like you know what he's talking about. What spa? What?
A spa? Like a hot tub?
Oh, an actual spa, like that. Okay, all right. I wasn't sure. So you go and pick one up?
No, not the place with the windows all covered that you go to, Fuzzy. It's a hot tub.
Not that.
I feel bad. You keep setting them up. You keep setting me up.
I know.
I
I'm
feel terrible.
not saying anything.
I don't like taking the shots.
You know what? I get Friendly Friday, and you get every day. So I'll take mine when I get it.
Thank you.
No, Jay, have you read that the Langford bill?
Yeah, I mean not for a while.
So what? I've read bits and pieces of it, and I just heard what people were talking about. So why did it not go through? What was in there so bad that the right said hell no? Is there something on there that?
It's simple.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Trump didn't want it to pass.
Because he wanted to run up on it.
He wanted to campaign on it. I mean, he's admitted that. Everybody has admitted. James Langford has said that. This was a bill that was the whole reason this bill even existed is because the House tried to pass. The Republicans of the House tried to pass H.R. 2, and the Democrats were like, "No, we're not doing that. Like, you guys aren't giving us any funding on anything." So then Ukraine funding was up, and the Democrats came to the Republicans and they were like, "Hey, were we going to do Ukraine funding?" And the Republicans smartly used their leverage and said, "We'll do Ukraine funding if you write a border bill." And so they wrote a border bill, and everybody in the Senate basically pre-approved it. They're like, "Yeah, we'll push this through, send it to the House," and the House wouldn't even vote on it. They wouldn't even bring it up to vote. And Donald Trump was out there publicly saying, "Don't do this." Like, and then ironically, they split the bill up and they tabled the border bill and they did Ukraine funding anyways. So the Democrats actually won that negotiation. It may have lost them the election, but I mean, Donald Trump was right when it comes to the election. But he's the one that torpedoed that bill. And
understand, 90% of what was in that bill, or still is in the bill, I mean, it could still happen, but 90% of it, Democrats don't want. It's not a Democrat left-leaning friendly bill whatsoever. It has wall stuff. It doesn't address asylum correctly. The only one thing is there is a limit, which I would think you guys would like, but there is a limit of 5,000 people a day on an average, a 7-day average. But yeah, it's not a Democrat friendly bill.
So when you say 5,000 a day, now is that within a 24-hour period, or does that?
So it's on a 7-day. So it's based on a 7-day average. So
if one day we have 3,500, the next day we have, let's say, 2,000, then it can just keep going and going, right?
Well, depending, yeah, right, and it's up to the president to say. Right now, okay, let me ask you this, Amir. Right now, what is our shutoff?
At 20, if my memory says it's 2,500 per day.
Right now. Right now?
If my memory.
No, there's no shutoff.
Well, you have Biden's executive order.
Yeah, that's what
that'll be shot down by the court.
I apologize. Yeah, prior to the executive order.
Yeah.
Prior to that one, I don't think there was one. I think it was, just get in. I don't think there was one, right?
Right. So prior to the executive order, there was none. And that's I thought was the ultimate goal of the right, was to have limited people coming through, more time and what have you. I don't know. Are you familiar with Rollo on this app?
Oh yeah, I've dealt with him many times. Yeah,
what a pleasure, huh?
Yeah.
He's the nicest person ever. Everybody loves Rollo. He's so nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love Rollo. you
do not like Rollo?
No, I've dealt with him many times. I don't have a problem with him.
Oh yeah, no, I love Rollo. He's like the nicest person. No, he's a fellow Mormon. We're best friends.
Yeah.
Is he Mormon?
He's Mormon, yeah.
Actually, I think maybe I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh wow, Wow, okay. I did not know that he was.
But anyways, so his problem with the bill is because, and I've talked to him many times about this, is because it actually gave too quick of expedition of people claiming asylum. Because as a lawyer, you need some time to set this up. And he's like, there's no way you're going to be able to set up a case this quickly to make sure they come across. So he had a massive problem. Jen, I see you down there. You suck. Anyways.
Well, hold on, Jen. I don't think
say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say your last goodbye.
No, that's what she's
not smart. That's not smart.
I love Jen.
Well, Jen, you're gonna have mods, so do your thing.
Don't mod her.
Did you mod Jen?
I'll never be up on her I'll never be up on her Friday again.
Yeah, hey man. Don't come for Jen, man. She's brutal. She's nice, but she's brutal.
Know. No, she knows I love her. I just can't say it out loud.
Oh.
I don't know if you know that was
Did
out
you
loud.
Did you mod her?
That thing you just did right there? That was out loud.
Hey, Jen, where the hell did she go? Oh, there it is. Jen, you have full mods now. No, Jen. Dude. I like Jen. She's fair, and I like her.
I like Jen a lot.
She'll do a wonderful
terrifies
job.
me.
She should.
She's nothing nice to get on her bad side.
It's not good. I've been there. It's bad. It's so bad. Oh,
oh my God!
she immediately abused her power.
Hey, listen, Buzzard. I am sorry, bro. Listen. Oh God.
That's amazing.
Oh, hey, listen. He said it. So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
So, you and I talked about this before, and I told you this before. So, how do you connect people?
What do you mean?
When I say that is, how do you reach? Let's say, what's your messaging on your side to say, okay, you know what? Maybe it's time to start thinking forward, and let's somehow come to I don't want to say an agreement, but to be civil. Is it a possibility?
Well, look, it's probably easier for us right now because we're in a position where we don't. have the House, we don't have the Senate, we don't have the presidency, we certainly don't feel like we have the Supreme Court. So for us, like, all we have is reaching across the aisle. So it's probably, I mean, I'm sure some people have seen like a tone shift, but I think mostly it's that we can argue till we're blue in the face about different things that are fun, but we've got to figure out how to get on the same page about things that affect everybody all the time. And I think that's why I keep going back to universal health care, just because when we find a moment like this where Americans agree, we should capitalize, especially when everybody knows it's going to be a good thing. That's how we do it. We have to be willing to set aside our differences when we can. And then other than that, like, politics is a little bit of a game. I don't mind a debate about really any topic, but when we have a chance to come together, like right now, I just think we have to take it. And I think that Republicans could do a great service to this country, to their children, to their grandchildren, to their parents, if they pushed their politicians right now to do universal health care. I think it would save our country. I think it would eliminate the number one reason that people go bankrupt, and they would get credit for that forever and ever and ever. I think this is an opportunity for Republicans to put a win on the scoreboard and say, we're the ones that got that shit done. Remember when healthcare used to bankrupt everybody? We got it done.
Yeah. And I mean, and I'll be honest with you, talking to, some people that and stuff like that are on the right, we've talked about it, and I would say 95% of the people on the right that I talk to are all for universal health care. We really are.
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue is, okay, how do you do that? What is it going to cost? Is it going to, how is it, will it affect our paychecks? What is it going to do? Are we going to have to do the same thing that Canadians do? Is that something that we're willing to do?
Well, I mean, their outcomes are better than ours. Their healthcare system is ranked better than ours. A lot of people talk about like the wait times in Canada, and again, that's just another Red Scare thing. Like, convince people that the government can't run anything efficiently, while literally the least like, I've never seen any. I don't know if any business has ever been run more inefficiently, given what they're supposed to do, than health insurance. Like 20% of the money goes to the people who are giving the health insurance companies money to pay their bill. That's it. Like, that's a crazy. Imagine if you were going to, like, if you went to a bank and you're like, I want to break this 100, and they gave you back $20, and you're like, where's the rest? And they're like, oh, 80% is our fee to give you that $20. That's essentially what healthcare companies do. So I think it's got to be like, it's going to take time. But I think that Republicans, like I said, I can't give Republicans advice. I'm not one. I used to be. I used to work on campaigns. You guys want to stay in power? Fix healthcare, which sucks. I don't want you guys to stay in power, but you want to stay in power? Fix healthcare. Do universal healthcare.
Well, we do have a concept of a plan.
yeah. And update the plan just a little. Get more than a concept.
Yeah, I think.
And look, I think you guys should debate each other on this, because there's a few people in the chat here that are like, we'll never do that. We're never going to do you. And it's like, all right, well, they'll never listen to me either, but they might listen to other Republicans.
Well, I think the biggest problem is, and how do I say this without sounding, well, fuck it, I'll just say it out loud. I think the biggest problem on the right that I have noticed is that people want to have this so-called faith, right?
Did you say faith? Is that what you said?
Fame, F-A, like fame. They want to be famous.
Fame. Okay, yeah. Gotcha. Sorry.
Right? And everybody will kind of, if I disagree with somebody on the right, oh, it's immediate add me this, add me that, and that. And I think that's not only on the right, but I think that goes both ways on the left as well.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because I can disagree with, people on the right. I disagree with them all day long and all of that. But I think it's the communication. And
yeah, look,
unfortunately, I just don't think that anytime soon that we're going to be able to kind of meet in the middle.
Well, if you guys, if we don't fix healthcare, in the next couple of years. If Republicans don't do anything about healthcare in the next couple of years, knowing where we're headed financially, you can almost guarantee, and the odds are already stacked against Republicans for the midterms, because there's far more Democratic seats open for re-election than Republicans, so they should win that back. But if Republicans don't fix some of this stuff, they're going to lose the midterms, and then they're going to lose the presidency. And so I just think that this version of Republicanism, they're very good at running campaigns when they're not in power, but when they're in power, they don't do a very good job, and so they lose. And I think we'll just see that consistent like turnover until one of these parties gets their shit together and they start working for the American people. Other than if they don't, it's just going to be every 4 to 6 years, you're just going to see change, turnover.
One daughter's husband gets an ambassadorship for his felon dad. And his college roommate gets to be America's hostage.
Oh, hey, Rachel Maddow. I feel like I'm up here alone now. Hey, everybody.
No, I'm here.
Okay. Like, what just
I put
happened? Everything
myself
went quiet.
on mute. I was like, what the hell?
I know all about that.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. And like I told you before, I think it's no matter what I do and no matter how you talk to people, no matter how you come across, it seems that people would rather argue and fuss just about everything. Literally just about everything.
Yeah, especially on this app.
Agreed. And it's like, why can't we just come together, figure out a way, and hopefully do something about it?
Yeah, I think it's important to remember too that, and this is something that I constantly have to remind myself of, is that the reality on this app isn't really the reality in the real world. Most people aren't hyper political. Most people that care to speak about politics, and it's the only app that exists where like everybody can kind of have a voice. You can get up in a panel, you can talk, you can host your own lives. It's not hard to get enough followers to do that, and so like it's become a pretty polarizing app. So I think it's important to remember that like the hardliners on both sides, those people don't really exist in most of our regular lives. Most people could give a fuck. They don't care what's going on. They don't know what's going on. They show up every 4 years to vote for the president of the party that they already agree with. So if you can get some of that momentum talking about universal healthcare, I think those conversations work outside of this app. But even on this app, I mean, you and I have common ground on this. Drew and I have common ground on this. In fact, I don't think I've ever had a conversation with somebody about universal healthcare that didn't end with both people agreeing like, yeah, this is probably a better plan. I think it's that much of a winning issue. I think it's a 90-10 issue across America, and the 10% are the people on TikTok, that like the hyper political people.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, and I think that might be the start to kind of bonding people somewhat together, because we have gone way too far from one another that the humanity is just gone. There's no, literally, can I come back? Do you know who this is? Fuzzy Wuzzy?
Never heard of Fuzzy Wuzzy. Never even heard of him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, bro. I don't know who you are. Sorry.
That's Fuzzy. That's Fuzzy.
Oh, that's Fuzzy? Oh.
I thought you were joking. Sorry.
No.
Yeah, look, hey, you can bring up, Amber, you can bring up anybody you want. I probably have like 20 more minutes, but if there's people waiting that wanted to jump in, that's fine. You can open it up.
I wasn't just removed. I was blocked.
My bad, man. She just said, you know what? Fuck you. And just
yeah, Jen said she didn't have kick powers at first, so she had to block you. She couldn't just kick
it wasn't even kick. It was full on block.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Why did
you
my
learn your lesson
shit off? Yeah, I don't. Hey, I know. Don't fuck with Jen. I know.
That's probably why your camera got turned off too, Fuzzy.
Yeah, I was like, damn, she got him quick. Like I didn't even. Listen, bro, you're gonna have to deal with her, bro. I don't want no part of her. So
No,
you're on
nobody
your
wants
own,
to
bro.
cross, Jen.
Yeah, no. I'm good.
I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I love you, Jen.
That's worse. That's not gonna help. It's worse.
I know.
just lay
How do
low.
you fix it? How do you fix it? You can't do either
You
one.
lay low.
All right, I'll
You lay low. You
I'll
just
stay
let it
low.
blow over.
You just kind of lay low. Oh, I forgot to tell you is I was supposed to call you Double Daddy.
Oh, jeez. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that. That's terrible. Who told you to say that?
Listen, I'll just leave it alone, bro. No, I'm not snitching. So
Yeah. Well, it could be a lot of people. So thanks.
I'm not snitching.
All right.
So are you down to, since you got to go in about 20 minutes, are you down to have me bring up somebody?
Yeah, sure.
I
open
know
up.
there's some people that want to come up and talk to you, but I don't even know these people. But if you want to, bring somebody up, I'm game.
Yeah, do your thing. It's your platform. Have at it.
Yes. If anybody, hey, if there's anybody in the queue that wants to debate RTP, man, come on up and get it done. Don't be scared of him. He is a nice person. He truly is.
And I don't know how to
Someone
fight.
go find
so-
an old millennial. Someone,
No, don't do that.
Go
No,
find an
don't
old
do that.
millennial.
He's
Who the hell is that? Who's that?
dumbest.
I'm waiting for him to show up at my front. I'm waiting for him to show up at my front door.
That made me happy that you said you don't know who he is. That's good.
No,
he
I
has a
don't.
lot of followers, so that's good.
That's
I keep hearing
impressive.
about him, and I really don't know who he is. I keep hearing
You
about
don't
him, and
need
I'm
to.
like, I don't know who the hell this dude is.
Waste
Yeah, I
breath.
don't. He's different. He's different. He's a weird guy. He's like he keeps doing this thing where like he keeps going to different platforms and saying like calling me out as if like we haven't DM'd, and I'm just like, just tell me when, just give me some advance notice, and he just leaves it on red and then just go. I don't think he really wants to debate. I think he just wants to look tough. I said something mean, not mean. I mentioned his girlfriend one time, and he took that really personally, and he's been pretty upset ever since then.
So I said something about his mother, and that's why he's coming to kill me in my house, and he knows where I live.
I said nice things about his girlfriend. She's a nice girl. I don't have any issues with his girlfriend or fiance. I think now. I think they're getting married.
Well, I just said he didn't let his mother finish.
Jesus.
Oh God, that's you didn't. Yeah.
So
I can't
now
believe somebody would be upset about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for him to show up.
I don't know who this dude is, and like I said, I've only heard about him 3 times, and I was like, whatever, man.
Yeah, congratulations. That's great.
I don't understand why people are scared to talk to you. I really don't.
I don't know. Are people afraid to talk to me? Is that a thing?
No. People in general are afraid to talk to you.
I just don't like you.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't
understand that.
know. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know why they're.
Okay, Admir, just so you know, you're gonna have to go in if you want my main account to be unblocked. I would appreciate that. That would be wonderful.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'll have to talk to Jen, and if she approves.
That's not gonna work. You know that's not gonna work.
I've learned my lesson with Jay and with Jen. I'm sorry, and I'm not. That's between you and.
Jesus Christ!
I
What the hell
already
just
blocked you.
happened?
I already unblocked you.
What?
I already unblocked you.
Oh, you unblocked me? Okay,
I already
well,
I
appreciate
unblocked
that.
you. I unblocked you when right after I only had the kick option, so I unblocked you right after I kicked you. So
All right. Well, it was
But-
okay. Well,
I was looking in
appreciate
requests.
that.
It looks like mostly our friendlies are in requests, so I don't know if you want to talk to friendlies. But
Friendlies
That's
with
pretty
good.
us or
That's
friendlies
pretty
with them?
good.
So,
Blue Dollar
just-
Dad
I'm
Club.
surprised that there is no. Like, wow.
I mean, I
Is
saw
there
one that
anybody
possibly could be,
on
but
my side
other
that
ones I
wants to
know
come up
are
and-
friends. So
That's kind of weird that nobody on my side wants to come up and debate him. That's just crazy.
I mean, I can
mean,
run up
he'll-
the one who I
he'll
think
have a
could be up,
conversation.
but I could be wrong. But so
Oh, wow.
Is it crazy though?
It's-
Did you not see MOD, that whole conversation? Did you not see that?
Well, I did
I saw
hear
it.
that you and her had a debate.
We did. It's on YouTube. You can watch it. It's tough. Yeah.
It's entertaining.
You know what? You might have a lot of people in requests when you had that other layout before. A lot of people may not realize they're in requests. So
Oh no, that's all right. Yeah, I did not. That happened right after I came onto the SAP. Is I heard you and then
Where'd
you
she
and
go?
her debate and all of that, and so I didn't even. I've never listened to it and all that, but
I don't remember what
Mod is my
we
people, man.
debated about, but it ended poorly.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mod is my people. Mod is one of the first people when I came to the SAP, and I just ended up going on to her platform, and she was like, "Hey, who the hell are you?" I'm like, "I don't know," and we just kind of kicked it off, and she's been cool ever since. And
Yeah, but we were cool. We were cool before that, and then just not after. So I don't know.
Oh, wow.
We
Any
go
issues
back
with
and
Mod?
forth. Me and her go back and me and her go back and forth. I mean, we have good conversations. We have not so good ones. That's for sure.
Hi, Chandra.
Hi. I just wanted to do this.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi. I just wanted to show RTP I got his sweatshirt today.
Okay.
Oh, could you not see
Are
it?
you?
Oh, I can't see
No,
Can
anything.
you turn your camera on? Yeah.
I did turn it on.
Try again.
Do you have enough followers?
Oh,
There you
okay.
go.
Hey,
Okay. There it is.
hey, there it is. That's it. Came
Hey.
today.
So
What?
just so you
It showed
just so
up
you
today.
know, we call this
Yep.
Thank you.
just
That's
so you know, we
awesome.
call this a cult. Okay. He was in a cult. He knows how to run a cult, and now you're a part of his new cult.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome.
Right.
Congratulations.
But that was
That
it.
looks good
I don't
on
Thank
you.
have
you.
anything to debate against you,
Whoa.
as I agree with you
Thank
for
you.
the most part. And you always do a good job. You're always great at this. So sorry, I don't really have much to contribute to the conversation other than I'm just excited about my sweater.
Thanks for
It's a
showing me. I
nice
appreciate
sweatshirt.
it.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
admit.
good. That looks good.
Yeah, right?
What? Hey, before you go, what do you think of RTP's new theme song?
Oh, well, I haven't been able to really hear all the words, but
Well, there's not many.
wants to fuck him. Isn't that it?
No, that's Bree's song.
That's Bree's
Bree's song.
What's your song?
I'll play. Show up tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll play it. I'll play it at the beginning and the end. It's
Okay.
Biter put it together. It's good.
Okay. I just know the Bree song. Sorry.
Yeah.
That was hey. That you know what? You just made my night by knowing that one. That was good.
Great.
I am just surprised that literally the people on my side just don't want to come up and talk to you. I don't get it.
Well, it's probably me.
No.
That does make
then
sense.
Jem will
That does
just-
make
I
sense.
might be the game changer. I might be the game changer.
Fuzzy Wuzzy
Yeah.
mixing it up.
No,
Yeah.
you're doing good. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, and I think I really hope that come January 20th that nothing's gonna big happen, man. This is getting a little bit out of control. I will be at the inauguration. I'll be there.
You're going?
Oh yeah, me and my wife are going. Oh yes.
Yeah, you didn't want to miss out on last time you missed storming the Capitol, so this time you're going to go in the crowd. I like that.
Well, this is the inauguration. It's not the yeah. It's not,
Did you?
not the storm
that
again.
is
Sorry.
wrong.
Low blow. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
that was yeah. We're gonna leave that one alone.
Are you sad you missed your 6 years in prison? I'm just checking.
No, I'm good, man. I don't want no prison. Screw that.
Amir, do you think he should pardon all the Jan 6 people?
No.
Solid question.
And no, and I don't think anybody that I've spoken to on my side, people who went in there, damaged, defecated, and wiped their one, all that, whatever they were sentenced to, I think they should finish their time. I don't think they should be. They shouldn't even be given clemency. Hell no, no.
Do you think it was? Do you think it was an insurrection?
By definition, no. By definition, no.
In what way
What's
not?
your definition? Right. What's your definition?
Well, I mean, if you look at the definition of insurrection, is, I mean, he would have been literally have to be involved in it himself.
No. I'm not talking about him. I mean, hold on. I'm talking about the event. Now,
Okay.
the him part is a whole nother story, because I can show you exactly why he is not eligible to be the president. I can talk about that in a minute. But do you think an insurrection happened?
Did I think that it was a wrong move? Yes.
That's not what I asked. Do you think that January 6th was an insurrection?
No.
Why not?
Oh, let me think how to answer that. I don't think there is an actual answer for that.
Probably because it was.
I mean, I really don't know how to answer that. I'll be honest with you, because if
I would say
go ahead.
I'd say it doesn't matter, because they were all charged with crimes, and it was an insurrection. I think this is one of those examples of a place where we get focused on the wrong thing. Like, I probably have a little bit different opinion than Admir. I'm actually cool with some of the people being pardoned or granted clemency. If there's people who just went because it was trespassing and they weren't violent and they just followed people in and they've served some time, I get that. Like, I grew up in a high demand religion, that C word we're not supposed to say, and I know people do things because of what they believe, and so I actually would be okay with some of them being pardoned or given clemency if they weren't violent, and they just got trespassing. So I think I see it a little differently. I think what happened is we were so focused on talking about whether or not it was an insurrection, whether or not Donald Trump was involved, that we forget that there's people who have been convicted and sentenced to like 40 years for actually trying to overthrow our government, for like plotting to overthrow our government, and we don't even talk about them.
Like which ones?
Like the Proud Boys.
Yeah, see, that's bullshit too.
Okay, well, what were they convicted?
Yeah, convicted or not, I think in this particular case, they made an example of some guys. You know, if they would have convicted them and then said, "Oh, well, you know, they're just a group that does this," no, but they had to lie. They had to lie and say that they were a white supremacy group, which was
it was seditious
true.
conspiracy. It had nothing to do with being
I'm
white
just
supremacists.
saying, like, if they didn't have to lie, I might believe their story a little bit more. But they
Who are you saying lied? I'm a little confused. Who lied?
Well, so for one, they're not a white supremacy group. Okay, one of my friends is a Proud Boy, and he's Japanese. The guy that started, hold on, the guy that started the group wasn't even white.
Okay, hold on, one at a time.
Yeah, but that's not
white. He was
But that's
Cuban.
not what. Hold on, real
That
quick
was
though.
Cuban.
This is one of those examples of a place where we're just not talking about anything that matters. He was charged with seditious conspiracy. It has nothing to do with whether or not people accused him of being a white nationalist.
Yeah, once again, if you didn't lie about that, I might believe that it was. If I didn't see the same organization, or you know what I mean, or not organization, but the same. Let's just call them a regime. If I didn't see all the political fake prosecution about Trump, then I might believe it about the Proud Boys too.
Do you see how that sets you up to never have to believe anybody ever on your side did anything wrong?
I mean, look, I spent months and months hanging out with SK and those guys, reading every bit of legislation, to every single bit of testimony, to every single sidebar, everything that had to do with these, so not political prosecutions. So it's not like I'm in a position where I don't know shit. You know,
I know, but he was
there.
convicted of a seditious conspiracy, and the evidence was overwhelming. And it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It has nothing to do with white nationalism. He was planning an attack, and they real quick. Let me just finish real quick. He was planning an attack, and the plan was part of their plan was essentially a hostile takeover of the government. That it by definition it fits seditious conspiracy.
First off, okay, that was clearly not a hostile takeover, and if any, I'm sure, especially
no, it was a conspiracy. Again, he didn't do it.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time,
that's what conspiracy is.
It could have been based off of something he said in a comment, or could have been based off of him texting with some friends that actually wasn't even based in reality.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was based on emails and messages between those friends, and it was based also on his friends pleading guilty and turning on him. It's not. This isn't a he said, she said. This is literally people that worked with him turned on him. He got turned in. People,
and you know what? It wasn't.
And he went and he's in jail for seditious conspiracy. I think that's a place.
Hey,
many chapters.
Hold on. Hold on, approach. Hey, hold on a second.
Yep.
You know how I run my lives. If one is talking, the other one is just muted till the other one finishes, please. Because if you interrupt, we're not going to get nowhere. Agreed?
You don't have to repeat it. I already know the gig. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Look, I think that this is one of those cases that Admir we've been talking about, is that people get so one-sided and people get so obsessed with never having anything on their side be wrong that we get to a point where we're defending Enrique Tarrio. Yeah, Enrique Tarrio is a criminal. He's been a criminal for decades. He's always been a criminal. He's violent. He speaks openly about insurrection, and he tried, and he failed, and he's in jail. We shouldn't have to be arguing about Enrique Tarrio.
First off, think about this. All right. So how many of Enrique Tarrio's minions or whatever were in there actually doing what you're saying? So he wasn't.
Almost none.
Yeah, exactly. So my point is this, is that if you've seen the latest reports, right, even though they say there wasn't 26 agents out there that day, we know how people are contracted with that 3-letter agency that starts with an F. I know how they're contracted and know what groups to give back intel. This is one of the things that they're contracted to do. Right?
Why were there so many people there that had infiltrated terrorist groups when the FBI didn't know that they were there?
Sure. One of these guys that were contracted to be there, right? They were just a contracted person, right? This person had already been caught on camera telling people tomorrow and on the same day, we're going into that building. Okay. Now we have him on film doing this. And to say, and just because we don't have the other 26 on film doing it, and I'm not going to say that every single 26 person that is in this report was doing that. However, to think that there weren't other people doing that, I think that that's questionable.
Who else was doing it?
Did you not hear the point, what I just said? No,
what you're doing is you're making a leap that I don't think is there. Number one, you're talking about somebody who wasn't given a direct. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're talking about a person who you have no evidence that the FBI gave them a directive. You are taking a confidential human source and you are placing this idea because you don't want any of this stuff to be true.
So let's do this.
I'm not done. You are assuming that this confidential source was placed and directed by the FBI, and you have no evidence of that.
All right.
And then when I asked for the other people, you said, no, I took a logical step. You haven't even proven that the first guy was there doing the bidding of the FBI, and you're already saying all the rest of them are doing. Please, can I just finish, please?
Go ahead, finish it up.
Thank you. Well, do you want to have a discussion, or do you want to just talk over me?
Go ahead.
I'm here for a discussion. Don't tell me to land the plane. I'm responding to what you said. You haven't linked any of these people to the FBI, and you want me to say now that this person who I can't link to the FBI other than they're a confidential human source, the FBI says we didn't know these people were there, and you're saying because of him, now I get to assume all the other ones were doing it too? You haven't even proven that the first guy did it.
All right. So let's look at this. So if we look at the whistleblowers under SecDef, and then if we continue to look at the 26-page letter written to Congress by Earl G. Matthews, right? And if we look at the few people that weren't identified from that day, let's see who they were. They were the 4 guys that built that so-called gallows, right? And then yeah, so-called. Have you seen it from the other angles? Looked like it couldn't hold up a doll. Anyway,
they were dumb.
They were dumb, exactly. But yet those 4
what
guys
were they building?
Hold on, let me finish. But yet those 4 guys are one of the few guys that they couldn't identify that day. Now, when you have a building like that, it has more cameras than anywhere else you're going to find the entire U.S. of A, right? And then the only other guy, one of the other guys that they couldn't identify is the guy who put down the pipe boom boom, right? And so when I look at scenarios like this, when I put it all together, because once again, we're dealing with the intelligence agencies, and if they want to pull off a putsch or a coup or something like that, they do it very well without being able to be drawn back to them. This is what they do, okay?
No.
So, oh yes, this is exactly what they do.
No, they do lots of good work all the time. I have friends in every agency. They do great work all the time.
So do I.
Okay, well then your friends do great work too.
Yeah, well, you know what? I believe in some of the friends that I have in the agency, and I know what they do, and it has nothing to do with stuff like this. However, the ones that are involved in stuff like this, right? They know
stuff
how
like
to
what?
Stuff like putting together putches or coups in different countries.
But you haven't established that this was a coup. This was a coup.
Again, if we go to the 26 pages written to Congress by Earl G. Matthews, and
did that prove that the FBI was behind this?
It certainly paints a picture of that is a huge possibility. It's not a jump or a leap, as you.
And the evidence of that is what?
The evidence is that we have 26 contracted individuals out there that day with red T-shirts, and under those red T-shirts they had badges. Okay,
no, you made that. No. A confidential human source doesn't have a fucking badge. What are you talking about? They are sources. These are not FBI agents. These are sources that. Well, the problem that we have here is you're just telling me this big long story while I'm begging you for evidence of something. You can't link a single one of these people to an FBI agent or an FBI directive that they do this. You're just telling me a big long story with a bunch of other things that have convinced you that this happened, and it makes it so that no matter what happens, you're always going to believe that your side is innocent, and you never have to accept. Excuse me, my friend. Just be quiet. God damn, dude, this is the problem. Admiral, when we were talking about like why we can't get along, it's because people are obsessed. Because people are obsessed, and they get very frustrated and very emotional when somebody is asking for evidence. You don't have evidence, you have a story. I'm asking you for evidence. I don't need a 50-minute narrative. And the only way that this ever makes sense on your guys' side is if you tell a story uninterrupted for 20 minutes. But if we start picking holes from the start, you have not identified that any person who was there under the direction of the FBI, and yet you have a whole narrative that they are.
Is that for one, okay, I have looked into almost all 83 regime changes that this agency has been a part of, right? Or at least the intelligence community altogether, right? Since 1951, okay?
I don't care. I'm asking for evidence. This is another story.
Leading evidence back to these guys is something they're very good at erasing, okay? This is what they do.
So there's no evidence?
Anyway.
So, wait, are you saying there's no evidence?
Hold on. First off, you asked me to be quiet, but you want to cut me off any second you get, so relax.
No, I'm asking you questions. This is how conversations work.
Once again, the only people that are unidentified at that day, because remember, they had multiple permits, right, for that day. Okay, and one of the stipulations of those permits was not to put together structures. Okay, and yet, before that structure,
I don't think they cared about the permits.
Hold on, don't know. You asked me to.
I don't think they were following the rules that day.
Look at you. The rules for thee and not for me.
Well, no, I'm asking for evidence. Now you're talking about permits. You're just telling me a story.
No. Allow me to land my plane, as you bitched about a second ago.
I'm just asking for evidence. You keep telling me stories.
Hold on. Hold your breath for a second. All right.
I'd be dead if I held it the whole time I was waiting for evidence.
Anyways, So anyways, the day before that structure started to be built, okay? And yet for some reason, they can identify the 4 guys that were involved with building said structure. Okay.
And so that's not, you told me this already.
Yeah, so
you're telling no. This is where we're running into an issue. You keep trying to tell me a story. I want to know what I just want to know what piece. I just want to know what piece of evidence you have that says the FBI directed these people to be there on that day. You run? Yeah. I don't know. What's up, gun show over here? Jesus, Shane, barely fitting in that thing.
You looking at me? I'm just trying to be cute for you.
Everybody's looking at you,
baby. I'm just trying to be cute.
You look like a Michelin, man. You're popping out everywhere.
I'm hanging out, man. I was listening to my man, and he got me all worked up. He was talking about the IC, and I was like, wait, I'm part of the conspiracy? I had no idea.
How are you part of the conspiracy?
I'm part of the intelligence community, man. He called me. I heard my name, and I was like, I was part of this? No, I didn't. The thing is, you know what the problem is, man? I never get invited. It's like they always have these big conspiracies, and they never invite me.
All right.
I'm always like, guys, when are we going to do the government overthrow? When are we going to do the big? And they forget this in the postcard. They just never invite me, man. It's not fair.
Do you work directly with the Bureau, or are you contracted with them?
What?
You work directly with the Bureau, or you contract?
I was a direct person, so I was direct Blue Badge NSA, and now I'm a contractor.
Okay, so as a contractor, is it not your job sometimes? I don't know if this is what you do, but are you not paid as a contractor to infiltrate particular groups and to gather intel and so on?
Yeah, so one of my big projects I did was making the Browns a terrible football team. Bro, let me tell you, I fucked him up since 99 on.
So was that before or after?
Wait, Tim Couch? You've been with him since
I've done every single one of their 17 shitty quarterbacks.
Wow.
What I do is I feed them shitty quarterback information. I'm like, you got to get Johnny Manziel.
All jokes and silly shit aside.
So what happened with how did Baker become good?
We have one guy caught on camera telling people the day before and day of, we are going to go inside that building. Then
Ray Epps? Wait a second, Ray Epps?
Yeah, let him go. Let him Zebek, let him go.
Yeah,
he's 4-on-1 up here.
The first person to breach that day, right? We have that particular contracted individual whispering into that person's ears seconds before he broke that first barrier. Okay, so we only have Ray Epps on camera influencing and as far as I'm concerned, entrapping people. Okay, so and then we have 26 others who were in the crowd that day. All right, so whether they were agents or fucking contracted, I don't give a shit.
Well, they weren't agents. We all know that they weren't agents. Everybody knows that.
You can say stop playing with words. Agents and contractors.
You mean using words correctly? They were confidential human sources. These were not agents. These were no. These were dummies that were being used by the FBI to infiltrate all of these right-wing groups that were planning Jan 6. And some of these people were so dumb that they didn't realize when they showed up on January 6th as confidential human sources that the FBI would be like, wait a minute, that's one of our sources. They were not agents. They were dumb people that the FBI was using to get information on MAGA. That's who they were.
Gaslighting like a motherfucker, straight up.
That's what human sources are, bud.
Nope, you're gaslighting.
Nope. What are they then?
You are, sir. Because once again, if we didn't have camera footage of Epps saying tomorrow we're going into the building.
Oh my God, we heard that already. These people aren't agents.
It's fine. Then they.
I believe it, but every time I've asked you for a single shred of evidence that there was a single agent there or that they were directed there by the agents, you tell me a fucking story about Ray Epps and the gallows and everything you've studied since the 50s. Instead of studying the 50s, study what is a confidential human source and did any of them have a tie to the FBI? Study what's happening right in front of your face instead of creating this narrative and conspiracy theory that everything is corrupt and that's how you explain explain how all of your people
Not
keep going to
everything, and
jail.
not everybody in that organization is corrupt. However, if you were there that day and the day before, it's telling people that we're going into the building, if you were a part
Maybe
of the
you were
people
just
inside
dumb.
the building, then yes. Then
Maybe
yes,
you were
you're
just
fucked up.
dumb. Maybe they were just dumb.
Nope. I fucking
Nope.
believe that one. Maybe this
They
guy
couldn't
you
put
were
gallows
there.
together.
Approach. Let me work your logic backwards, right? So, like that's actually a better way to do this. Okay. So let's say you take me and the employees, so contractors, employees, and you got to work backwards, and you tell us that we have to do a conspiracy, right? Like your whole theory is right. Why? Like,
well, I think out of the thousands and thousands of agents that we have and contracted individuals, finding people who want to keep Trump out of office, I don't think that would be that hard.
right. So wouldn't your way have already shown that they would have spoken up already?
No, of course not. Not if you fucking are a never Trumper and you want that guy out of office. No, not at all. Because we already have. Look, we already have this. We already have 51 intelligence officers, not just signing that letter, but we've got corresponding emails as of June 25th.
That letter that they told the truth about?
Now we have corresponding emails.
Wait, what's wrong with the 50? Wait, hold on. What's wrong with the? No, you don't get to tell stories. No, it's a narrative.
Corresponding
What was
emails
wrong?
of them saying
What
that
was
I
wrong?
did it
Hold
at
on.
times to help.
I'm asking you a question.
At the time, Vice President
you
Biden
don't.
get
This is
elected.
the problem. This is
Yeah, no, it's not a
Admir.
problem.
This
You're
is
the
why they
problem.
don't debate me. Is
Yeah.
because when I ask them a question
debating you right
about
now.
their
You
story,
wanna cut
they
people
want
off.
to finish the story.
No.
What was wrong with the 51
Can
intelligence
I call a
agents?
timeout real quick? Admir, can I call a timeout
Yeah.
real quick? Everyone, there's
Yeah,
almost
okay.
500 people in here. Tap the fucking screen. There's only 15,000 or 14,000 likes. Tap the fucking screen, all right? Share. Get some people in here. Apparently, there's not enough Republicans. There's not enough right. We need some opposition to the host of. We need people on the same side of the host. So, anyways, you guys tap the screen and let's get the shares up there.
Well, yeah,
All right.
I can handle all of you guys with your silly
But
faces.
just
I have no
explain to
problem
me.
with this.
Just explain to me, because
That's
if
what
you're
she
going
said.
if you're going to gish gallop through points, I have to stop you on each one. So the first one that you mentioned was the 51 intelligence agents. What did they? Why are they being brought into this? What did they do that was wrong?
All right, I got you. All right, so here's the thing. Okay, so 51 intelligence officers, all of them were still contracted. Three of them were still in the FBI. Okay, or the intelligence community. Excuse me, rather. So then we have them signing this letter stating that at the time we have them stating that the laptop was Russian disinformation.
That's not what the letter said.
Hold on now.
No.
I had all the earmarks.
No, I have to stop you there.
Had all the
I have to. You don't.
earmarkings of
No.
Russian
This is the thing.
disinformation.
This
Excuse
is why
me.
we can't get. This is why we can't get places. Because if we just go past this
Had
and you
all the
continue your narrative,
earmarkings
they
of Russian
didn't say that.
disinformation.
They didn't say but it wasn't about the laptop. It was about the story that was coming out. What was the story?
First off, because it
Just
once
answer
again,
what the
in
story
regards
was.
to
Don't
the
first
story-
off,
in
what was the
regards to
story?
Hold on, if you're going to say that, I have no
No,
problem.
I want you to answer the question.
In regards
please.
to the story, right?
What was the story?
Because of the testimony of Erica Jensen, right?
Oh my God! What was the story, dude? This is crazy.
had to
Have
drop
you had a
the lawsuit
conversation with a
against
human
Giuliani,
before?
the whole story.
No. What was the story?
About Hunter Biden working for Burisma and his father.
Wrong. See, you don't know what the story is. This is where we have
Story
the
you
first
talking
problem.
about? Because there was multiple stories. At least
Yeah,
this is what I'm talking about.
exactly. So you took a letter from 51 intelligence agents. By the way, they were 100% right. They said, you want to get a second source on this because the only person that was going to post it was the New York Post with one single source, and that source was Rudy Giuliani, Trump's lawyer. That's not a great source. You want to get a second source on it. And what they said is, we can't confirm anything that they're saying here. Like, this could be true. It could not be true.
Go ahead. I'm going to land my plane once you land yours. Go ahead.
I'm just telling you what the letter said. You don't seem to know what the letter said.
Go ahead.
I just finished. They said,
Okay,
we don't know.
fine.
We don't
Sure.
know if this is true or not.
Sure.
So
No.
get a second
They
source.
said
So what's
it had
wrong with
all
that?
the earmarkings of Russian disinformation.
And it
because they
did
know
because
how-
the story
Dude,
went
hold
in-
on.
because
You
the
wanna
story
cut
was in
people off
Russia
in the middle
first.
of my fucking talk. All right, well, hold your breath for a
You
second.
interrupted me, bud.
Yeah, well, I said, okay, I'll hold on, land your plane. You said you were
Okay,
landing.
well, you didn't let me land my plane.
Well, go ahead.
Okay, so the
Cousin Eddie
question
right
I'm
now.
asking you is what part of the letter was wrong?
The part of the letter where they said it had all the earmarkings of Russian disinformation. The point was,
But it did.
Hold on, stop.
No.
It had all, hold on.
But
You
it did.
said your plane was landed.
No. I'm asking you a question.
No,
you're not answering my question.
Well, then hold
What
your
was
breath.
wrong?
Like I said, allow me to
Specifically,
answer
what was
it.
wrong?
No. Allow me to answer it. And don't fucking talk in the middle of my fucking sentence. Okay.
Getting very emotional, but
that's fine. Yeah, I am very emotional about this. That's right, because this is bullshit. Anyway,
well, it's because,
Okay, hold on a second.
Because you've made
No,
your
no, I'm not
feeling.
gonna
You've
hold
made
on.
it about
I'm
your
gonna
feelings.
Hold on, approach. Hold on.
Okay, I didn't
I
realize
told you
it
about
was
this before. Yeah, no. I told you about this before. If one is talking, the other one is. I know
one was my
Jay's gonna
bad.
respect you.
was
No,
my
you're good.
bad,
I
that
just
one.
I don't want this shit to go on and on. So go ahead.
Okay, so when they said it had all the earmarkings of Russian disinformation, that's all they needed to do to give a talking point for Biden against Trump in the debate. Okay, now once again, as of June 26th,
but you said it was fake.
Wait a second.
I don't care about that.
Again. Hold on.
Yeah, because you're leaving the topic now.
Yeah, nothing. Hold your breath.
No, you're leaving the topic now.
You just said something, and yet he wants.
Hold on. But okay, approach. So, what is your point? Okay, what are you trying to prove?
I'm trying to
understand.
to prove that we have agents out there helping out one side of the aisle. They are not bipartisan. They are very partisan. So therefore, when I say that they are willing to lie, of course they're willing to lie, and it's been proven thus far, and I can explain why. If no
So
one
why do they
cuts me off.
investigate Hunter if they're very partisan?
And I would love to explain that too. If you just
And why did they investigate Hillary? Why did they investigate Hillary?
Okay, so here we go. Well, no reasonable prosecutor, but allow me to land my plane of what I was talking about. Okay, so once again, as of June 26th, we have corresponding emails between them talking about, at the time, I did it to help not only Vice President Biden have a talking point against Trump in regards to the laptop. Hold on, brother. Right?
I'm asking you a question about what you're saying.
You're asking me a question in the middle of my fucking sentence.
I know, because I don't know what you're talking about, and I'm trying to get on the same page with you.
Hold your fucking question for a second.
No.
Yes.
Who are you talking about?
Hold your fucking question for a second.
No.
Yes.
No. Who are you talking about?
Once again, he's still cutting me off. I can't fucking talk.
No, I'm asking you questions.
Yeah,
this is not a timed debate.
Question, I'm gonna fucking answer it.
I'm trying to get clarification so I can follow you, bud.
Well, you can ask clarification when I'm done talking.
I don't know who you're talking about.
I'm talking about what the fuck I'm talking about, so just hold your breath. And
I know. I'm asking who.
I know, but allow me to fucking finish, and then you can answer your question.
Hold on. Approach, real quick. Are you single?
Actually, I teach the gentleman's approach to women class. I don't think I have a problem with women.
Also, the dogs are barking. You're making them very upset. I just have to say, like, this is.
Oh. Well, there goes that.
All right. Hey, I gotta get going, Admir. I appreciate it, brother.
Hey,
Shane,
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, good talk,
Jay,
man.
as
I
usual,
enjoyed
man.
it.
Thank you, bro.
Let's do it again.
Appreciate you coming.
I mean, I joined late. It's fine. See you, RTP, whatever.
I just wish somebody would come and debate him, but nobody wants to come up and debate him. And I know who well, it is what it is. Nobody kicked him, infamous.
So, Ray Epps, though, I mean, this is the guy that we've talked about hundreds of times, though, and how he went to the FBI and literally told them everything they wanted to know, and he worked with them. I don't understand this, how they still are on this thing. But, I mean, I guess that's...
The thing is, and Ray Epps, so you have the President of the United States standing up there and talking, but somehow Ray Epps with a megaphone with the contact of, I don't know, 100 people influenced 1,000 people to unalive the vice president. I don't understand that argument.
That's pretty bad if that's what you need, honestly.
I know maybe I'm just missing.